Let's talk about the content stacking conversion process. So given a different brand, this is what we talk about literally week in, week out. Everything that we talk about in regards to how to run content, how to run ads, and how to send people into your system so that when they have conversations with you, they're already bought into the process. Now, this only works if you work the process. I would write that down in your notes. It only works if you work the process. If you do anything else, this doesn't work. It'll just be a bunch of money that you spend, that you get a whole bunch of cool likes and a whole bunch of comments, but nothing actually in the funnel, which we don't want to have happen, right? We want to make sure that we do a very specific process of putting content out there and then having that content build a bunch of audiences, and then use those audiences to drive lead magnets, then use that audience to drive calls. That's kind of, if I was to summarize the content stacking conversion process, that's really what it would look like. So my intent for you guys today is I want to build this matrix in the real estate space on how I would set this up so that you guys have like a one-page cheat sheet that would tell you exactly what you need to do. So that's what we're going to do today. All right. So let's go back to the screen share here. And I want to kind of take a first crack. I will give you this PDF in the members area. So we're going to build this right now. I will give you the PDF in the members area for this. So don't worry about screenshotting this and building this with me. You can rip this off. I'm going to build this in Keynote. You guys can do whatever you want. So we really have three campaigns. We have campaign number one. I'm going to call this engagement. Then we have campaign number two, and we're going to call this lead magnet. And we have campaign number three. We will call this conversion. Okay, so really, that's all you guys need to worry about. So this is going to apply to Facebook. It'll apply to Google. It will apply to YouTube. It applies to everything. So let's talk about in the second box what we would put in there. So I'm just going to put in this one, content. So in the real estate space, the content would be let's do this in bullet points so this looks a little better here. What can you get for? This would be, how to, right? This would be remodel. You could also do that should be ROI, not ROW. Another one would be how to write a purchase contract that wins. How many homes should you view in a day? Let's change the font on this, and then we will left justify all of that. So that would be, we're going to run all of these campaigns, and these would be videos. They could be linked to blog posts. We're going to put this here. We're going to do post types. And in this case, we're going to do, let's find my little bullet thing again. Copy that, put that over here. So post types, you're going to do video views, or you're going to do website traffic. So if you're going to upload a video onto Facebook and you're going to run that as an ad, and you want them to stay on Facebook to watch that video, that's going to be a video view that you want to run, right? You just want them to watch the entire video. Don't go to the website, just watch the video, comment below. We're not going to do anything else, right? The second type of ad that you might run is maybe you put this video, or maybe it's like just a list, a blog post. That would be under website traffic, and I'm going to put blog post right here. It never lets you indent this. No, not when you're writing in it here. Hold on. Maybe it's Shift Tab? Nope, it's not Shift Tab. Well, whatever. So we'll put that next to it, blog post. So you're going to use that. You're going to use the blog post part anytime that you write, like, let's say there's one of the things was, how to remodel your home for the ROI. So maybe the blog post is you talking about like 6 different things you can add to your home to add 20% equity, right? So that would be headline description, headline description, headline description, headline description, and so forth. That would be a website traffic ad that you would get link clicks to go to the blog post. And sure, on the blog post, we're going to have like pop-ups to join the insiders and call to actions to activate your homes and all of that good stuff. But our only goal is just to get as much traffic to this as possible so that we can build the audience. Let's talk about how we're going to build the audience from here. So I'm going to say I'm going to say audience to run ad to, and then this is audiences populated by this campaign. So this one is going to be your city plus 15 miles. We're going to create 2 audiences based on this. Number 1, let's go back to, and I'm not really sure. There we go. Now that's going to allow me to do it. The first audience we're going to do is page post engagements. The second audience, did I spell that wrong? I did. No surprise to you guys. Okay. The second audience we're going to create is video views. And these are going to be 15-second, or they would be either called through place. So everybody that takes advantage or that engages with this campaign, what can you get for X? And I mean, like, what can you get for $1 million in Washington, D.C.? That's what I mean by that. So anybody who takes advantage of what can you get for X, that's going to be a link click. How to remodel your home for the highest ROI. If you're going to send them to a blog post, that would be website traffic. What we're saying for the second campaign is anybody who engages with any of these, whether a page post engagement, and remember, a page post engagement is anybody who clicks an image, comments, likes, shares. They have to physically do something for the post. It can't just show up in their feed. They have to physically do something, all right? So we're going to set up an audience for page post engagements, and we're also going to do video views, 15 seconds. Let's left justify this. And that's it. If we had to put, let's add another column here. Another row, rather. Insert row below. Budget allocation. Let's make this. Okay, that looks a little bit better. So budget allocation, if I had, $10,000 a month to put on this, I would spend 60% of the budget on campaign number 1. Okay, let's talk about campaign number 2. Now, the content is going to be 7 things you need to know before you buy a home, right? That could be one of them. Let's go ahead and make this a bullet list as well. Left justify that. Another one you might want to run, maybe like 3 things to ask a realtor before selling your home. So anything that you can put in a PDF needs to be able to be delivered in a PDF. Post type, this is going to be lead generation. If you're running this on Google, let's put this on bullet points as well. Google Display would be a landing page. And then YouTube, same thing, landing page. Now, here's the important part. The audience that we're going to run these campaigns to are going to be all the audiences down here. It's these custom audiences we're going to go here. So we're just going to link. I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, I can do it. Sweet. I don't know why I did that. Let's try that again. Okay. And now let's change this text down. Okay, so we're going to run campaign number 2 to all these people that were created in the audience number 1. We're going to spend 30% of our budget on campaign number 2. Okay. So if I wanted to do budget dollars, and let's say I had $1,000 to spend, so equals 1,000 times this, I'd spend, let's fix that here. I'd spend $600 on that, equals 1, 2, 3 times 30%. $300. And then the audience that we're going to populate with this is going to be similar to campaign number 1. We're going to populate lead ad submissions. So anybody who submits, now there's options in Facebook to say, did they engage with the form? Did they open the form? Did they view the form? You don't want that. You only want people in this category. We only want people that actually submitted the lead form. Okay, very important. You're going to waste a lot of spend right here if you build that audience, and it's only people that are engaging with the form, not submitting it. All right, so let's keep going. Campaign number 3, we call this the conversion one. So this one is schedule a call if you're planning on making a move. Now, post type, this is also going to be lead generation. Really important. Do not use a Calendly page for this campaign. You want to use a landing page, and you want to ask them like what they're interested in, when do they want to move, where do they live now, you know, like you want to ask them a couple of questions, and then when is the ideal time for them to schedule the call. Could you do this as a lead generation ad? Yes, 100%. You could do this on a lead form. There's no reason for them ever to leave Facebook to do this, okay? Audience to run this ad on. You're only going to run it to all lead ad submissions. That's it, right? And I should say audience, let's see if we can add this. I want to change something here. We'll see if we can I add a note. I cannot. Okay, we'll fix this. Maybe we'll add another column here. And then audience populated by this one is going to be lead ad submissions. Same thing as before. Just this campaign. This one is going to be lead ad submissions. All lead ads except campaign number 3. And let's change this here. So do me a favor in chat. Just give me a tracking if you're following me so far. Okay, good. For the budget allocation, really simple. I'm going to spend 10% on this. That's going to be $1,000 times 10%, which means I'm only going to spend 1,000%, or said a different way. I'm going to spend $100. Now, will this content, will this funnel work if I only spend $1,000 a month? What do you guys think in chat? The answer would be no, not right away. If you want to work this the first month, the spend's going to be a little bit different, and it's going to kind of work, you know, kind of like when you go to a wedding, you know, and people pour the champagne on that pyramid of champagne glasses. The first one fills up, and then it kind of, goes like that. This is kind of the same thing. It's going to be a while before you're going to have enough people in the funnel to hit number 3, right? It's just going to take a while, right? So this is going to happen right away. You're probably going to get some leads in this. If you were putting $600 into this, or if you were to divide that by a day, let's do 600. I think it's 20 bucks a day, right? Yeah, $20 a day. And let's say you were doing traffic ads only. Oh, that's why I can't see you. I'm clicked on speakers. Can't read anything. When I go to this screen, that's not readable. Tracking. Okay, I will in the recording it'll be super clear. I'm not sure why the streaming thing is maybe I'm streaming at a lower resolution. Let's check something here. Nope, not readable. Okay, well, I'll give you guys this PDF anyway. So that'll make that clear. Okay, so if we go back to how long it's going to take to fill this thing up, it'll take a little while, right? You're probably going to need, I would say, a few thousand people in campaign number 1, which the good news is if you're spending $20 a day and you're averaging 15 cents a click, I don't think that's an unrealistic number. So 20 divided by 0.15 means you're going to get 133 people to click that ad every single day. After a week, multiply that by 7, means you're going to have about 900 people in this during the first week, give or take. That's enough to get people over to campaign 2. Right? So, and again, just because we have an audience big enough to run campaign number 2, it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to work. You need to keep doing it. So I would say within 2 weeks, these leads will start to kick in. Now, our audience on campaign number 2 right now is fairly, I think it's probably 12,000, give or take, plus or minus. And we're averaging somewhere around $6 to $11 lead registrations on campaign number 2. It's much more expensive than campaign number 3 because over here, we're basically asking for money. And you guys need to understand that. We're asking for money over here. If you don't understand that you're asking for money and this isn't converting, chances are you didn't go deep enough. You didn't give everything away on the first set of campaigns. If you were too general, if you didn't pick an opinion, if you didn't have an opinion or a side of the fence that you were relying on right there, chances are this is going to convert low and that's going to convert low. So the success of this entire campaign boils down to your ability to give everything away on number 1, even if it means that every one of your competitors are going to steal this stuff. That's super, super, super important to understand, right? The key to this whole campaign is that you give everything away right here. And I wanted to put this in the grid, but I think because I was linking stuff, it didn't make sense. Campaign number 1 is your city plus 15 miles, okay? So put that down in your notes. Campaign number 1 is your city plus 15 miles. Campaign number 2 are these audiences that were populated by campaign number 1, but the location is all of the United States. Do not do your city plus 15 miles. It's all of the United States, okay? Campaign number 3 is the same thing. It's all the lead form submissions that came from campaign number 2, plus the entire United States. Technically, if somebody was in Riverside plus 15 miles, wouldn't they see all 3 campaigns? Yes, but you don't want to leave it to chance. Maybe they left. Maybe they were in Riverside visiting for something. Maybe it was a golf tournament, maybe whatever, right? So you want to make sure that if they're pinged on your campaigns, no matter where they go after this, we still want to show it to them. We don't want to rely on where they're at that given time. Because, and I don't know how many people are going from, Riverside to Newport Beach, but if I just happen to be in Riverside today and my retargeting campaign kicks in tomorrow, and now I'm back in Newport or I'm in Santa Ana, I don't know if that's 15 miles away. Yeah, I think it's quite a bit farther than 15 miles. I'm not going to see that campaign. So automatically, Andy spent all this money for everybody that was in Riverside plus 15 miles, and then they left. And these 2 campaigns they're never going to see because he did Riverside plus 15 miles. So campaign number 2, United States plus this custom audience. Campaign number 3, United States plus the lead ads submissions minus that final campaign. And when you go into lead ads, when you create that custom audience and lead ads, it will ask you which lead ads, which lead forms do you want us to include on that? And then you can select all the ones, just to select every lead form you've ever created, except for the final conversion one. You want to ignore that one for the final campaign. Heather says, what about resort if we wanted to retarget international? 100%, you could do it. Like it's funny, Heather, yesterday, Jenny, or maybe a couple days ago, Jenny told me that Heidi Montag, whatever her new last name, Pratt, I think is her last name now, is from Crested Butte. Never knew that. So now we're one step closer to Crested Butte for all of you guys that didn't know that. If you had a brand that everybody knew, like I know that I took a couple courses from, I can't remember the guy's name. I know he's from Australia, Sam something. It'll probably come to me during the webinar. But his funnel, what he runs its entire campaign with no targeting in like 6 different countries. So he'll do like England, I think he does New Zealand, Australia, United States, Canada, and he'll just spend an obscene amount of money, and he'll let the algorithm say, oh, if Sam, I thought I was going to get it there in a second. I didn't. But if you mention Crested Butte in there, I don't know if the algorithm is that built out to where they would know Crested Butte versus like Los Angeles or Newport or any of that. But if you allow if you allow the algorithm to do its work, it will work, right? So if you're doing all of Colorado and maybe like every other state that you think comes to Crested Butte, Heather, I would start there on campaign number 1, right? And then after that, this is all United States plus that audience, all United States plus this audience, right? We never vary from that. Now your targeting right here could be all over the place. You could do, I think most of the stuff we've seen in your market, Heather, is Crested Butte plus 50 miles. That's as wide as you can go. Otherwise, you got to start adding other cities and doing plus 15 miles on those cities as well to make sure that the campaign is big enough. But if you guys follow this matrix, and you know, there's a whole other thing that I'm not even talking about right here is when they hit this and they convert, they go into your CRM, or they go from here onto your website and they convert and they go in their CRM. We're running this same process in email as well. So if all we have is their email address because they sign up for our insider email right here, well, in the email, we're going to continue to give them that content over and over and over again. But the call to action is to download the 7 things you need to know, or the 3 things to ask a realtor. And then once they do that, that smart email content drops off the email, and then we're replacing that with campaign number 3, which is scheduled a call with us. So it doesn't matter if they stay on this and they're on social the entire time, or if they come off this and they go into your CRM. The CRM email traffic needs to be the exact same as what we run on here. It's just a totally different, it's just a totally different funnel, totally different process. I see you put something else up there. Yes, Crested Butte has numerous Olympians and Heidi Montag. Yeah, sorry, I probably should have named all the Olympic athletes first, but you know, let's be honest. Everybody loves the drama, right? Is there any in chat right now? Give me another yes if you're tracking with me, and then give me any questions you have right now. And again, I'm going to export this as a PDF. I'll put it in the members area so you guys can download it. I'll give you the Keynote file as well so you can edit it or create your own if you want. And I think that was Andy that asked me this a couple weeks ago. This now gives you the ability to leverage this in your business. Like if Marjorie's looking at either Andy or Evan and saying, hey, we're going to run an ad today, then Marjorie's going to go, cool, where is that ad going to fit? Which campaign are we running right now, and how is this going to feed? This really, campaign number 2 and campaign number 3 is not going to change that often. Sure, you may change the image, maybe you change the copy, but the actual intent of the campaign really just is what it is, right? We want to set that up once, and we want to let it roll, right? Setting it up on Google is a little bit more complicated, only because you have Google and you have the website, but that's it, right? There's no other complications other than you have to leave the platform, because Google Display and Google Search do have lead forms now, but you have to get to $50,000 in ad spend first before they will activate that. Why is this thing vibrating? Nope, okay. You have to get to $50,000 in ad spend first before they will activate that for you. So we have to use the website to do that. Right now, I wouldn't worry about Google at all. I would do all of this on Facebook. And again, this is really the number we're playing with. If you had to ask me what your average spend need to be per post or per click, if you were somewhere in between single digits and mid double digits, I think you're okay. Even is 50 cents too expensive of a click? It's up there, right? But I don't think it's enough to shut it off. If you're getting dollar clicks, that's expensive, right? You want to try the easiest thing in the world real quick? Just start with real estate posts. What can you get in Santa Fe for $650,000? I'd start with that. No conversion, no squeeze page. Don't ask them to fill out their info. Just get them from Facebook to click the post and go to the website, and boom, they're automatically going to populate in that page post engagements just because they clicked. Not everybody that clicks an ad on Facebook is a buyer. Even though you're saying, if you're thinking about buying a home, look at the newest homes this week in Santa Fe. Even though you're saying that, that doesn't mean they're a buyer, right? So we want to get as many people in this as possible. And then we want to create the, hey, are you a little bit interested in real estate right now? That's it. A report I would create right now. How many of you guys are following the stock market right now? I wouldn't say it's in a complete free fall, but it's not far from it. Crypto, is crypto taking a dive right now? Yes or no? Crypto's in a free fall right now. I think Bitcoin's lost 50% of its value in the last 30 days. 66,500. I know this because we have quite a few Bitcoin. And no, I did not pull out. Left it all in there. I believe, long term it will shoot right back up. I don't have time to time the market, right? But look, it's only on sale. It's only on sale at a discount right now if you need to sell. Super important to understand that. It's only on sale at a discount if you need to sell. If you don't need to sell, doesn't really matter. Could you create a PDF or what is the market doing right now? What will 4 interest rates hikes do to the market over the next 12 months? 100% you can. Could you create a PDF that is your prediction for the real estate market over the next 24 months? 100% you could. Could you create a PDF on the 13 things you need to know inside the Florida state residential purchase contract with a sample purchase contract included? Yes, people would download that. Don't think that we need to hit grand slams, right? If you're getting good clicks here and you're getting good clicks here, but no conversions, you missed on the messaging. So you just need to flip the messaging out. Like I said, $6 to $20, I think is okay for campaign number 2. Campaign number 3 is going to be all over the market in your market. Could cost you $300 to get a registration. But if I spent $300 right here, I'm talking about one client right now, and that $300 cost me $1,000 right here, and that $1,000 here cost me $2,000 here, you may be thinking like, okay, that's like $2,500 for a client. Well, I will tell you, and I don't think it's going to be that much. But even if it was, I will tell you that by somebody who's already engaged in all of this, they're a yes. They're already a yes. So I'm going to pause there. Questions. I'll go back to the screen share here, and I want to check something really quick. I think there's an effect. I put my hand down on my switcher today, and I think I know exactly what you mean. My face even looks like cartoony, and I don't know what that is. Maybe it's like a beauty filter I put in. I have no idea. I need a lot more than a beauty filter. Okay, awesome. Listen, that's the grid. And if there's one thing that I can tell you right now, I know some of this stuff seems like super overwhelming. In my office, some of you guys have been in my office, but on the wall that you guys can't see, I have a big whiteboard, and every idea that I have, or every campaign that we're going to launch, or everything that anybody on my team or Jenny and I need to talk about, it always goes on the whiteboard first, because I don't know about you guys, I'm a very visual person. A grid like this is something that is really easy for me to follow, because I know exactly where I need to slot everything else in. If you can just hold all of the ads kind of hostage against what this looks like, I think it gets a little easier. If you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall thinking, hey, what's gonna stick? We can do that in the content campaigns up front, but understand that the only reason to spend all this money on content up front is just to build those audience down here that feed this campaign, that builds that audience that feeds that campaign. It's really just like again, going back to the pyramid champagne glasses at the wedding, this is really the same thing. The more champagne you drop over here, the more it's going to reach the bottom. If you do a little bit right here and you freak out because your costs are a little bit high, or you run out of content ideas or anything like that, what you're really doing is costing these other two. You're never going to see people go all the way to the end because it's got to be a machine that just keeps going and going and going and going. Here's the good thing. This is what Facebook wants. They want people engaging with content. They don't want, like, Facebook does not like advertisers who are spending 20 grand a day leading people to $7 tripwires and an upsell to try to get them to spend another $200. Facebook does not do it. It's very expensive to do that right now because it doesn't subscribe them to the fact that, like, they're giving more content or more value to their users. Even if it's something you really want to buy, Facebook just doesn't like it. So it's a lot more expensive. Because they're engaging with the content and you're not gating it and you're using their native platforms, they'll push it a little harder. So like I said, I will get you this thing. I will figure out why I look like a cartoon today in the video. No idea why that's happening. I'm sure it's a button that I accidentally clicked or did something. I will figure that out shortly. I will see you guys soon. If I can figure some of these things out later on today, we are going to start pushing these lives to a YouTube channel. And we're likely going to go to daily 1-hour lives to talk about funnel building, ads, how to grow, business through leverage, recruiting, all of that stuff. We'll go live every single day for an hour. It'll be on the Inbound Fanatics YouTube channel. It will not be on this page. Probably starting it. We'll start this week, but formally it will probably kick off next week. And I'll give you guys links for that. Nothing you need to sign up for, nothing you need to do. You'll get reminded for it. And if you want to join me, great. If not, that's fine too. They'll all be recorded. You can engage with them with whatever you want, but that's going to go on a YouTube channel. All right. I hope you guys are having an amazing Tuesday. If I can help in any way, let me know. Let me make sure. Can our marketing guy access to video recording now? That's one of the reasons we're going to YouTube, because I just don't want to manage the team thing. But Richard, if you want to send me an email and say, hey, our marketing dude's email address is X, Y, and Z, just let me know and I will add them to the members area manually so they can access all this stuff. All right. Cool. Hopefully you heard that and that was in time. I love you all. Sorry about the cartoony and the blurry stuff. I will fix that soon. And we'll talk soon. All right. Thanks a lot.